if something is so egregious that it's, in my world at least, it's not right to stand by and say nothing. It's right to stand up and say what you're doing is wrong.
All right, Pops.
Yeah?
We're back.
And?
Better than ever.
Well, that was
Mike Golick and Mike, what was the other? Mike Greenberg.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're not doing sports. You'll never see sports content from us.
No.
It is another episode of Advice from My Dad with my dad.
Yeah, well, otherwise it would just be advice.
Yes,
Yeah.
Which some people want, but you get it here from my dad.
Yeah.
2 topics. I want you to choose which one we do, Pops.
Okay.
I've got one, which is a Reddit thread. Okay.
Oh, you know how I feel about Reddit.
Reddit is the Yelp of Reddit.
Reddit is the Yelp of everything that's not a restaurant.
Yeah, exactly. I still can't believe that I think it was in episode number 3, my dad explained what Yelp is and what Reddit is, and he had me so confused, and you were so right. Like 100% right. So
Yeah.
more power to you.
Yeah.
So one is from Reddit, and it is, I'll read you the title. Okay?
Yeah.
My mother is dating a guy my age, and she wants me to be friends with him. I feel uncomfortable.
Well, yeah, smoke some weed and you'll be fine.
That was the quickest episode of Advice from My Dad ever.
Yeah.
Or I found this article from The Atlantic.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I like to feel kind of smart, a little smart.
Yeah, we have a subscription to The Atlantic.
Wait, do we really?
Well, I do.
So that means I do.
Yeah, it means I could share it with you, yeah.
Okay, and The Atlantic published this article. This was like 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
The questions people asked advice columnists in the 1690s. And so I was going to read you those and see what your advice would be.
You think anything changed since then?
That's what I'm kind of wondering.
I don't know. Which one do you think would be better?
No, this is your call.
Let's do this one.
All right.
Because we've already established for the young man what he needs to do. He just needs to smoke some dope with his mother's boyfriend, and everything should be good, and they can move on with life.
That is you like, it's on the internet, man. Like what you just said, it's gonna live on in perpetuity.
Okay.
Smoke some dope. Okay.
Yeah.
Or
at least today, legally in a lot of
Most
states,
states, yeah.
recreational marijuana used to get used to your mom's boyfriend that's your age is now legal.
You're so funny. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're gonna read out. I'm gonna read you the questions.
Yeah.
You're gonna give the answers.
Okay.
And then we'll actually.
I'm going to give the 1690 answers.
No.
Answers for today.
Yeah. Give your answer for today, and I'll read out also the answer from the 1690s as well. Okay.
So I'm not going to look at the screen because I don't want to be prejudiced in any way.
No. Please don't. Yeah.
I don't need a screen to be prejudiced. But
Also, I don't even think you can read. It's pretty far away. First question.
Yes.
From the 1690s.
Yes.
Why is thunder more terrible in the nighttime?
Because it's so dark. There's no street lights.
Someone forgot to pay the electricity bill.
Well, I'm pretty sure back then that if there was rain with the thunder, it kind of doused the flames from the torches that people used to light up the night sky.
Okay, this is a naive question. You had electricity the whole time you grew up, right?
Excuse me.
What year were you born?
51. Yeah, we had electricity. I think they discovered that long before I was born, buddy. Jeez. But because it was really dark back then.
Do you get afraid of things in the dark?
More so than in the light.
Yeah.
I think that's just a normal human reaction is, if it's dark and we can't see as clearly, we're more afraid.
All right, so you're saying when things are dark, you get more scared.
Well, yeah, because they hadn't set up the street lights yet. Yeah.
The answer from the 1690s was, in the dead of night, noises are rendered more distinct and consequently more terrible by the universal stillness of everywhere else.
Well, there you have it. Yeah, I didn't think of stillness. I just thought of, light.
I actually do like that answer a lot, though, because if you think about it, Dad.
You like it a lot better than mine?
Yeah, I do.
Wow, we're off to a bad start here. Go ahead.
No, but I do in the sense that, how many senses do you have? 5 senses? 6 senses?
Last time I checked, it was supposed to be 5.
5, yeah, you have 5 senses. And so
can you name them?
No.
Okay,
Can you name them?
Well, there's hearing, there's sight, there's smell, there's taste, and there's feeling.
Yeah. Oh, wow. You got it. But when you don't have the 4, but you just have the
hearing.
Yeah. Then it's like over. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay. The second question.
Yes.
The second question that ends in an exclamation point.
Okay.
In what space of time do you think the whole mass of blood circulates through the body?
This was in the 1690s?
This was in the 1690s.
Week and a half.
I don't even know what that means. What does that mean?
I don't know. In what space of time?
I think they're saying like how often. This is like medicine from the 1690s. Like how often does your body circulate blood?
This sounds like how often does the cabin air in your car change while you're driving? I mean, I don't know. I think it's like, what, every minute or so?
Well, 'tis probable in much shorter time than many have imagined.
Yeah.
It will be circulated 6 or 7 times over through the heart in the space of an hour.
Okay.
That's kind of neat.
Yeah. Well, that's quicker than a week and a half.
All right, here we go.
Yeah,
I think this
yeah.
one's going to be a slightly more compelling.
Okay.
My father had a dog, which he kept a great many years, in which time I had 2 brothers and 1 sister that died.
Ooh,
1690s were
yeah,
rough.
well, that shit happened. Yeah.
And it was observed that this dog,
Yeah.
always the day before they died, went about 100 yards from the house and
Yeah.
laid his nose towards the church where they were all buried and howled in a strange, hideous manner for an hour or more at a time.
Yeah.
And when my father died, he did
Yeah.
the same.
Yeah.
Now it seems as if the dog had some prophetic or what to call it, knowledge in these matters. I am so interested in your take on this because I'm thinking back to my mother, your wife.
Yeah.
And we grew up with 3 dogs in the house. So my mom had some pretty strong-rooted opinions about senses in dogs. What's your take? Do you think, I guess the question is, do you think animals can sense
Yes.
things?
Yes. Animals can sense things. Animals can have feelings. Elephants mourn when they lose an elephant. So yeah, why not? It's just unfortunate the dog lived longer than everybody else. But
This is the 1690s.
yeah, many years. Did they know how to measure years back then?
Do you remember we had a dog, Jade?
Yes, I remember Jade.
And Jade died in kind of like a really sad way.
Yes, yes.
We used to buy our dog food at Costco.
Yes.
What happened? They had like tainted dog food.
They had tainted dog food from China.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we didn't realize it, obviously, when we were buying it.
Because,
From Costco.
we wouldn't have given our
Dog,
pets
yeah, of course, yeah.
tainted dog food. But,
Yeah.
But we did inadvertently.
And you remember when she got
She
sick?
had an aneurysm. She had an artery that
Yeah.
burst or something. Yes.
And you remember
was
she got
sitting
sick?
behind my chair.
And she wouldn't. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't physically think she could move, but she like positioned herself as close to where you spend
Yeah.
most of your time.
Yeah.
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 I think like
And
she knew.
then you kids somehow got her in the car and took her to the vet, and
Yeah, it was really sad.
they kept her alive long enough to.
Yeah. All right. All right.
Yeah.
Next question.
Yeah.
If I am thinking of committing
Yeah.
any great and enormous crime and sin,
Yeah.
such as adultery,
Ooh, that was a big one back
that's
then.
a big one.
Not so big today.
It's out of style nowadays.
No, it's in style.
Yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah, come on. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
a good point.
Yeah, no, come on. Politicians do it all
Yeah,
the time.
yeah,
There's no price to be paid.
Okay, if
Yeah.
I am thinking,
Yeah.
I think the operative word here is thinking.
Yeah, if I'm thinking.
If I'm thinking of committing
Yeah.
any great or enormous crime, such
Yeah.
as adultery,
Yes.
but do not personally and actually commit it,
Yeah.
am I guilty of the crime and sin?
You are not. You were just guilty of thinking of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even in the 1690s, maybe man had the ability to understand the difference between thinking of doing something and actually doing something.
But let's dig a layer deeper here.
Okay, philosophically
Yeah,
speaking,
yeah, 'cause
have you sinned because you thought of it?
So
No.
You think so?
I think
Yeah.
just because you thought of it. I mean, come on. When I was younger, and my brother, Uncle Kenny,
Oh, goodness.
is 8.5 years older than me. So Kenny turned 78 in November.
He is the healthiest 78-year-old I've ever seen.
He is.
Yeah.
And because of that age difference, we didn't always get along.
No.
And there was one time in particular, for whatever reason, he really pissed me off. Okay? And I was thinking that, well, while he was sleeping, I would bash his head in with a rock. Now, suffice it to say, I didn't get a rock, and I never really bashed his head in. Have I committed a crime just for having thought of it? No, I've even shared the story with my brother so that he knows. But
Did he think he was deserving of that?
well, I don't know if he thought of it, but I know that any time he spends time with us where he sleeps over, he sleeps with one eye open because he's convinced I'm still going to come in with that rock. But so, just having the thought is not the same as following through with action.
I'm really glad that you, and I want to stick on this for a second because,
Okay.
again, this
Yeah.
whole article is from 300 years ago? Over 300 years ago.
Is it really?
No, but that's the thing, right?
Yeah. It's just in the
This is-
perspective of 300 years ago.
Well, no, these questions were asked 300
How do
years
you
ago.
know?
They pulled it
Were
from...
you there?
Dad, they pulled it from a news article, from a newspaper that was published in the 1690s.
Okay, they found it on the internet.
No. You can believe everything you hear on the internet.
Yeah. Did they digitalize it?
I don't know. I'll have to
Okay,
see.
go ahead.
But the point I'm making is that I think this is a question that spans all time.
Yes.
As far as I'm aware,
Yeah.
since there's been human beings, we're all thinking. We're all capable of thought, right?
Some better thoughts than others, yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I know a lot of people have had terrible thoughts,
Yes.
like that question was describing, and then
Yes.
took action on them. And obviously there's repercussions and consequences for that.
Yeah.
And then there are a ton of people, myself included, that have thoughts that would certainly have negative outcomes, but
Yeah.
you don't take action on them. And I think, I don't know, I wonder if it's like a part of maturity. I wonder if it's a part of human nature, because you do see people who have these thoughts and can't control that and then take action and then regret or have these repercussions. And then you have people like, I'll group us together here, like people like us who have these thoughts because we're human,
Yeah.
but then don't act upon them because you understand the consequences.
Yeah.
I just think it's an interesting concept.
Well, I guess it's something that's burdened man.
Yeah, that's exactly
since
what
the
it is.
existence of time.
Yeah.
To have thoughts, and should I act or not act on those thoughts? To try and determine what is right and what is wrong, and should I do what I know is wrong, or should I only do what I know is right?
One of the things I've learned, especially over the past couple of years, Dad,
Yes.
is to be less reactive and to honestly I don't want to say care less, but yeah, to just let more things pass. So have the thought, but literally just don't take the action, because even if there aren't really negative repercussions, just change for other people can be really challenging. And so when you make decisions and things like that. So I don't know, I guess I'm just curious what your take is in terms of, have you found yourself, especially now that you're retired or have been, pseudo-retired.
Yeah.
Do you find yourself a little more like chill? It's like, okay, I have an opinion on something, whether it's nefarious or just in general.
Do I find
like you're so much more patient with me nowadays than you ever used to be, and I think that's like actually at the root of this. You have thoughts like, Zach, can you please stop taking so many goddamn phone calls? But you don't even say anything because you're just like, what am I going to get out of it?
Yeah. What am I going to get out of it? So I find that I have more patience today than I had in the past. But I also find that things that trigger me still trigger me. I don't have as hard a time understanding the difference between right and wrong as some people do. I understand the concept of ethics and ethical behavior and choosing to do the right thing.
Yeah.
What I don't understand is why that is so hard for so many people. But it appears that it is. And it appears that it has been for years and years and years. So, do I occasionally get triggered today by some of the unethical behavior that I see from people in our society today? Yeah, it tends to bother me. And have I attempted to moderate my use of some of the social media platforms that are available for people to say things that they probably shouldn't say, and that I've probably said things on them that I probably shouldn't have said? I have tried my best to moderate the amount of times that I say something. But if something is so egregious that it's, in my world at least, it's not right to stand by and say nothing. It's right to stand up and say what you're doing is wrong.
Yeah.
Somebody has to stand up for what is right. And if you refuse to stand up for what is right, then you stand for nothing.
Yeah, so having conviction is what you're...
I like that. And thankfully, folks, I've never been convicted. Let me think back. Okay, let's not go down that path.
We should do an episode, Advice from My Dad. What do you do when you get arrested?
Yeah.
Do you call your parents, or do you pretend like it never happened, and then they
Yeah.
get the paperwork mailed to them, and then you cry on the phone?
Yeah, we could do one of those.
Oh, we both got stories.
Yeah, we
In due
do.
time.
Yeah.
So one final comment on this topic.
Yes.
Which is now fleeting my mind.
It's based in philosophy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Next question.
Philosophically speaking.
Next question.
No, let me ask you a
yeah.
question. Philosophically speaking, given the opportunity to do what's right or what's wrong, and let's assume that doing right isn't nearly as expedient as doing wrong.
Yeah.
Would you choose the expedient option, or would you choose the one that takes a tad more time because it's the right option?
No, we should also do an episode on this concept that I've become aware of called the long game.
Yeah.
Something I believe in. I think I sent you that article probably.
I think you did.
Yeah. I wholeheartedly believe in being. It's ironic because one of my biggest character flaws is I move too quickly.
Yes, you do.
And then I'm super passionate about things that I'm focused on. So it can be destructive for other people that are involved because not that they can't keep up. I don't even allow people to keep up because I'm moving too fast.
Yes.
But then it's ironic because I wholeheartedly believe in taking the longer path and, being more methodical and pragmatic. So I 100%. And also I have very strong convictions about certain things. I remember in middle school, I was the kid that got like detention because I broke up a fight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you stood up for somebody that was being bullied.
Yeah. So I was like,
Yeah.
you guys should not be fighting. Like, I'm going to break this up. I got in trouble, but I didn't really care because it was like the right thing to do. So
Yes.
I completely.
Okay.
What about you?
Yeah, no,
Do you play the long game?
Well, when you're my age, the long game is like a week and a half. I buy bananas. Well, I eat them while they're still ripe. That's the long game when you're 69 and a half. But
you're thinking banana ripening cycles.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's why you never buy more than 6.
That is so funny to me.
But yes, I believe in the long game if the long game is doing what's right.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe in putting forth the extra effort that's required in order to do things the right way as opposed to the wrong way.
I came across
and for standing up for principles.
For sure. I came across some research recently that talked about to live a happier life, you help others.
Yeah.
I would love to have a conversation with you about that as well and get your take there, but we'll save that
for another day. Okay, another episode of advice from your dad.
So, next question, Dad.
Yes.
Again, this is from
the 1690s.
Yeah, the 17th century. The
Yeah.
question was, is it proper for women to be learned?
To be what?
Learned. So I'm interpreting this question as, is it proper for women to go to school, to get educated and things like that? And I think this question is especially pointed because of my dad and I are big sports fans. And Becky Hammon, right?
Yes.
Coached the
Spurs,
the San Antonio Spurs the
Yeah.
other night. And
Yeah.
did you hear all of the different quotes after the game and just how awesome they were? From why, sure, this is a big deal, but why are you making it a big deal? She earned it.
Somebody tweeted boss woman, and somebody said, let me correct that, just
Boss.
Yeah. Well, I think in the 1690s there was, they didn't have the internet yet, so they didn't have as much.
Al Gore wasn't around back then.
No, he wasn't even a thought in anybody's mind.
Yeah.
So they didn't have as much information available to them.
Yep.
And I don't want to say that there could have been more ignorance back then about the differences between men and women and how men have this habit of thinking, well, they're far superior to women. And it's taken centuries to change that thinking, and in many people, you still can't change that thinking.
Yep.
So in the 1690s, I would think, they would have had a hard time with women being educated in something other than subservient to the male population at the time. Doesn't mean it was right then, doesn't mean it's right now.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it means it was wrong then and it's wrong now.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
I'm fairly certain. I feel talking about conviction.
And if I was uncertain about that, all I would need to do is pick up my phone and call your sister, and she would straighten my ass right out.
No, I mean, it's unfortunate that this question was asked then, and it's unfortunate that a lot of people grow up in an environment where this question is still asked now. Really sad, but 100% agree with you that back then you should learn, today you should learn, and you should have a level playing field to be able to do that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I could read this answer, but I feel like I'll just get a little triggered, so maybe I won't.
Well, don't read the answer then.
Okay, Pops.
Okay.
Talk about philosophical questions.
Oh, cool.
Put on your professor hat.
Yes.
What is the cause of the winds? And where do they come? And whither do they go?
Wow.
This is from the guy who lives at the windiest condo on the face of the planet in Ventnor City, New Jersey.
What was that again?
What causes the winds and where do they come from?
You know what? I don't know. Okay, I don't know. I'm not a meteorologist, but
High pressure, low pressure.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard there's pressure. I get pressure. Yeah, I got pressure. Yeah, and the next thing you know, I'm farting. You know, it's wind. It's pressure. You're right. It's all about low pressure, high pressure, some kind of pressure, and
that
stuff,
cheesesteak you ate.
and the cheesesteak I ate, and I don't know, stuff moving. Okay, and then that causes the air around us to move either much more swiftly or slowly than another time.
Let's read the answer, and then I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So the answer from back then was we read that the heathens, I guess it's like heathens?
Where?
Heathens. Heathens pictured Oculus, the god of wind, standing at the mouth of a cave, having a linen garment girt around him, and a smith bellows under his feet. All right. Got no clue what that means. That reminds me.
Bellows. That's the thing that you use to create wind to help build a fire.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a bellows.
You're a Boy Scout?
I was.
Were you really?
Yeah.
I was never a Boy Scout. Why didn't you put me in Boy Scouts?
You didn't like boys. You didn't. I don't know who the hell scouts in Arizona. It's so goddamn hot. Who's going? Hey, it's 120 degrees. Let's go camping. I mean, who's doing that?
Okay, well, that actually is a segue into my question, which is this question kind of feels a little spiritual, a little like outdoorsy type vibes.
Well,
I don't think you're particularly spiritual or outdoorsy, so I'm really curious. Like
you're
this,
picking the wrong guy.
Exactly.
But let's hear it.
No. I guess it's just like this question doesn't really make sense to us. Well, to you.
Well, yeah.
You're not going to be like out on a mountain and like the wind blows your hair and you're like, oh, that was
first of
the
all,
bellow.
there wouldn't be any hair for the wind to blow.
That was a good point.
Okay.
That's a really good point.
They need a big ass bellow to move my hair.
Next question, Pops.
Yeah.
Dancing.
Yeah.
Is it lawful?
Yes.
Do you like dancing?
You know, I watch these stupid ass dance movies. And I think to myself, God, if I could only move like that. And then I think to myself, now that would require a great deal of effort and energy. So the answer to your question is no, I don't like dancing.
Did you ever like dancing?
I was never much of a dancer.
Yeah.
You know, I liked slow dancing.
Did Mom like dancing?
If she did, I didn't allow her to participate in it enough. She was always fearful that, you know, people would look at us funny, either because I couldn't dance or she felt like she couldn't
Mom
dance.
had a big vanity thing. So
Yeah, but there was one time that we went to the Arthur Murray Dance Studios to learn ballroom dancing, and that lasted...
That sounds so fun.
Lasted, I believe, one session. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, before we decided maybe this is a mistake.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'll read the answer. Dancing seems in some sort natural. It's difficult not to leap for joy, and the whole body seems almost necessarily to follow the motion of the spirits and blood. This natural way of expelling mirth, which is also healthful exercise to the body.
Yes. Well, you know, I do dance to the music over the loudspeaker system in Target, so that tells you everything you need to know. You just need to take me to more stores.
You do own the dad dance in a store very well.
Yes. Yeah.
I really like dancing.
Good.
That's one of the biggest things I miss from the pandemic is that you can't. And I wonder if you'll ever be able to go back to a bar or something like that.
Well, the hope is that you'll be able to, because then maybe you might actually meet your partner or something, which would be really exciting for your dad, for you to meet someone.
If you're watching this.
Yeah. He's single, ladies and gentlemen.
And my mom used to try so diligently to set me up with people, and now I feel like wind.
Can we tell the one story about after your mother had a stroke, and she's in the hospital, and
what was her name?
Brittany.
Brittany.
Yeah. And Brittany came in because there was some type of issue that needed to be addressed. And Brittany was a beautiful, according to my wife, I didn't see her.
Oh, I saw her.
Yeah, and according to Zach, was a beautiful young lady.
She was like a patient advocate because
Yeah.
my mom needed to get like a speech or like a what type of therapist, like
Physical?
occupational
Occupational.
therapist, and like they couldn't
Yeah.
schedule it, and so Brittany came in because my mom.
And Brittany was, from my understanding, a very beautiful, attractive young lady.
I was very attracted to Brittany.
Yes, and
I was also like 19 at this time.
whatever, it doesn't matter. I mean, age is irrelevant.
She was definitely like in her
Yeah.
mid-20s.
Yeah, so, older women have fallen for younger men in the past. It still happens.
I never told you the story, but when I was on my international trip,
Yeah. You fell for an older woman?
there were like these 30-year-olds, man.
Yeah.
And that was actually really empowering. I was like, wait,
Yeah.
I'm in this like weird space in my life where I could go younger or I could go older.
Yeah.
And it's like, I just felt so empowered.
Wow.
Anyway,
So anyway, when your mother got home from the hospital, she was still so enamored with Brittany, and that she thought you two would make just the perfect couple.
Which we would have.
Yeah, that she sent an email to the hospital to try and track down Brittany so she could set up a date for you and her.
Yeah, I mean, you're cutting out some of the details. My mom was
yeah.
very diligent. And so if you've never, maybe you've experienced a stroke or if
Yeah.
you've known someone that's experienced a stroke, my mom, fortunately, cognitively was pretty much still there. She just
yeah.
lost functional, like the left side of her body.
Yeah.
And so cognitively, she knew exactly what she was doing. And like, typing slow as hell with
Yeah.
one hand, but wrote up this whole email.
Yeah.
She had her best friend Sandy. Hi, Sandy, if you're watching this. Sandy review it. That was really beautiful.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
dancing, is it lawful?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Final question for the episode
Yeah.
today, Dad.
For your mirth.
For your mirth.
Yeah.
What is anger?
Anger is the inability to control your emotions in a positive way.
Wow, I'm reading the answer from back then. That's like actually really close.
Really?
Anger is a passion of the inescapable appetite caused by the apprehension of a present evil, which may be repelled, but with some difficulty.
Well, there you have
Exactly, that last part. Present evil, which may be repelled, to your point,
Yeah.
but with some difficulty.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very difficult.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
feel like as you've gotten older, you've gotten better at controlling your anger?
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah.
Yeah, I
But I
seen
still, I still blow up occasionally.
I think that's one of the things that I've acknowledged in how you portray yourself, which I'm incredibly appreciative of. It's like you don't let little things get to you, but then I also think your space in between blow-ups is it's much longer. The time frame between.
Yeah,
So I
because it
think
takes an awful lot of little things to add up for me to finally go.
be careful. Be careful.
I know. My head was shaking, everything. My body was shaking, and there was no mirth there.
No, but I guess I guess the point I'm trying to make is I've seen you make progress on both fronts. Both the like little things during the day, nothing really bothers you anymore, and then like the blow-ups are really few and far between.
Yeah, well, I had anger issues. I had to learn how to deal with them.
Did you ever go to classes or anything like that?
No, I read a book. I read the preface to a book, and then I decided after having read the preface to the book that it all boiled down to me. I didn't really need the book. I just needed to control my emotions. So it was up to me as to whether or not I was going to do that.
Yeah.
And I decided that for the most part I was going to. I believe wholeheartedly that we determine on a daily basis whether it's going to be a good day or a bad day simply because of our attitude.
Of course.
And when it came to controlling my anger, I determined that it was going to be a good day because I was going to control my anger and not let it overtake me.
Yep, I completely agree. Yeah,
So-
you have all these little decisions
That you get to make
Yep.
constantly during the course of a day.
Absolutely.
I get angry when I watch the Cardinals.
Yeah, but it doesn't ruin your day.
No. It depresses me, but it doesn't ruin my day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, go Cards, win and get in. And then after that, we get to watch our sons, who just happen to have the best record in the NBA
At the
moment.
time of filming.
At the time of filming,
We'll
they
see.
have the best record in the NBA, and they're playing the LA Clippers tonight, so that should be fun and exciting.
All right, Pops. Well, I think we've done a good job on another episode of Advice
Yes.
from My Dad.
Of traveling back in time.
We have gone back in time. I think
Yes.
we've also got some other topics that I definitely want us to touch on in the not too distant future.
I'm
So
available.
I think we've got more episodes in store.
Cool, I'm looking forward to it.
All right, Pops. Appreciate your time like always.
Thanks, handsome.